Manning, oh Manning. Here comes another one. Arch Manning, a 5-star recruit and the latest must-watch quarterback talent from football's first family, recently announced his commitment to the University of Texas, capping a whirlwind recruiting process and kickstarting one of the most highly anticipated college football careers ever. Because as ludicrous as it may sound given how high his uncles and grandfather set the bar, Arch may actually be the best of the bunch. So just how good is this kid? And what does his commitment to Texas mean for college football moving forward? Let's break it down. Sit back, relax, and take this in. If you've watched football at any point in the last half-century, you're surely well acquainted with the Manning dynasty and their seeming genetic predisposition to success at the quarterback position. The family's patriarch, Archie, enjoyed a legendary career at Ole Miss, then spent 14 seasons in the NFL, earning himself a couple Pro Bowl nods along the way. Meanwhile, Archie also sired 3 sons, 2 of whom, Peyton and Eli, went on to enjoy illustrious NFL careers themselves, with each of them winning 2 Super Bowls apiece, and Peyton earning himself a spot in the Pro Football Hall of Fame. Archie's middle son, Cooper, never made it to the NFL due to spinal stenosis, but it's his oldest son, Archibald, Arch for short, who's now poised to carry the torch for the Manning dynasty. And he is nothing if not a worthy successor. Naturally, because of his name, the 6'4", 215-pound junior has been in the spotlight and on the radar of college scouts for years already, but it's his talent that made him not only the top quarterback in the 2023 recruit class, but the top player regardless of position. Physically, he's got everything a top quarterback needs. Exceptional arm strength, elite accuracy, size, way more mobility than Peyton or Eli ever showed, and all of those skills have been on full display throughout his time at New Orleans' Isidore Newman High, the same high school his uncles and father attended. In 3 years as the Greenies' starting quarterback, Manning has thrown 72 touchdowns and completed roughly 65% of his passes, while averaging upwards of 212 passing yards per game. Meanwhile, he's also run for 17 touchdowns throughout his high school career, while averaging roughly 25 rushing yards per game. It's not just the physical tools, though. According to national recruiting analyst Cooper Patagna of 247 Sports, Manning has exceptional intuition and awareness, with the ability to command and navigate the game at a very high level. If you were to scientifically engineer the perfect quarterback in a lab, in other words, it'd be Arch Manning, who's one of only 7 prospects ever to receive a perfect rating from 247 Sports Composite. He just turned 18, and there's already talk that Arch, like his uncles before him, could be a first overall pick in the NFL draft, which he'll be eligible for in 2026, by the way. He could have gone to any school he wanted, but rather than commit to an SEC powerhouse like Georgia or Alabama, or play in the shadow of his decorated relatives at Ole Miss or Tennessee, Arch instead opted to become a Longhorn, carving out his own path with a decision that instantly reinvigorated the Texas program and has already altered the landscape of college football. Before landing Manning, after all, Texas had been floundering. Since losing the national championship game to Alabama in 2010, Texas has been in a major rut, finishing outside the AP Top 25 rankings 8 times in the last dozen seasons. They also weathered 3 head coaching changes over that time and found themselves without an invite to a bowl game on 4 separate occasions. Last year, in fact, the Longhorns went 5-7 in their first season under head coach Steve Sarkisian, and at one point lost 6 straight games, their longest losing streak since 1956. Suddenly, though, thanks to Sarkisian's tireless efforts to lure Manning to Austin, the Longhorns are a burgeoning powerhouse. Finally, it seems, Texas is actually back. Following Manning's decision, the Longhorns received 6 more verbal commitments for the 2023 class in the span of roughly 72 hours, including 4-star linebacker Leona Lafau and 4-star wide receiver Jonah Wilson. I bet that Jonah kid's gonna be a stud. In any event, the Longhorns are primed to reestablish themselves as one of college football's premier programs, right in time for their presumptive move from the Big 12 to the SEC as it happens, and Manning will be at the center of it all. or rather, under center. The only question that remains is whether Manning will take over as the Longhorns' starting QB in his freshman year. For the moment, Texas has Quinn Ewers, another 5-star recruit and a recent transfer from Ohio State, standing in his way. And if Ewers tears the roof off in 2022, it's conceivable that Manning spends his freshman season holding a clipboard. Who knows though? A lot can happen between now and 2023. For now, Manning still has one more year of high school football to go. One more year to develop his skills before the broader football world gets its first look at this prodigy. The hype train, however, is already in high gear, and given Arch's outsized talent and iconic last name, it won't be slowing down anytime soon.